Yo, what's up? Today is October 31st, Halloween. Halloween night now at this point, and I wanted to make a short video. As you will most likely continue to hear my neighbor's dog barking throughout this video. I assume it has a lot to do with small children roaming the streets in the neighborhood, knocking on doors, trying to get some of that good candy, as is the tradition on October 31st. However, I wanted to make this short video to discuss some of, I wouldn't call my favorite, it definitely includes some of my favorite Halloween movies that either take place directly on the day or involve the day, have October 31st in the movie in some way, shape, or form. And I wanted to compile like a list of 5 of the scariest Halloween movies that I've seen that I can remember. I did just throw this together, but it's something I wanted to put out and talk about because I am a movie buff. I don't know every movie in the world that includes Halloween the day or talks about or involves October 31st. This is just from recollection and memory I wanted to touch base on. So you got me, you got Gummy, and let's get into it. Number 5, or just the least scariest Halloween movie that I have on my list. There's a movie called 31 by Rob Zombie. If you're familiar with Rob Zombie and his style of movies, you definitely understand that this individual is an acquired taste. This style is an acquired taste. It's extremely gory, gruesome, absurd, and every other synonym you can provide to identify with the degenerative behaviors. Yeah, I like it though. He's definitely a guilty pleasure of mine. I will say that. He's a guilty pleasure of mine. He don't got a lot of movies, but this one definitely was one that involves Halloween Day. It's about 5, I believe it's 5, a group of carnival workers being abducted and thrown into like fucking Hunger Games of murder and survival. They gotta survive 12 hours, I believe, from like, what is it, like 5 different types of killers, psychotic killer dudes dressed up as clowns, something like that. It's not the greatest movie. It definitely doesn't include any of the greatest acting, but it's a Halloween movie that I liked and enjoyed. So I wanted to throw it on here. One thing I will definitely say about this movie in particular is that the guy that plays like the final villain, or like the biggest villain, the last killer, nigga's name is like Doomhead. Played by Robert. Is it Robert Peck? Let's see what I have here. Robert Peck. That's a real serial killer. That is a real person that's caused real horrors to people in their lives. My gosh. Robert Brake. Yes, Robert Brake. I think he did. I think he had a standout performance in this movie. Like, this is definitely like a B movie type of deal. Rob Zombie is notorious for his B movies. Again, they are guilty pleasures of mine, though, in particular. And Robert Brake, the guy that plays Doomhead, I thought he had a pretty standout performance. He's like the reason why I started watching it and finished to the end. I seen the trailer with him. I was like, this guy could definitely play the Joker as well. I don't know if anybody ever thought about that. I mean, it's almost on the nose. He dressed his whole face in white, but he gives a very creepy and insane, out of his head performance that I definitely could see being done as the Joker. In one of the thousands iterations that they continuously keep making different Jokers over and over and over. But I digress. 31 is pretty cool if you are into the grotesque super degenerative film, B-movie films that Rob Zombie produces. Next on the list is a combination of two movies that I rewatched. The first one. This is a movie with the sequel. I rewatched the first one last year. I seen it years ago. I don't know if it was when it came out, or whatever. But the reason I rewatched it and then also watched the sequel to this movie I'm about to discuss is because the third one came out last year, and at this point in time, you may know what I'm referring to, maybe not, but that is the Terrifier, um, not trilogy. Specifically, I wanted to talk about part one and part two. Part three is a Christmas movie. It's just as much of a Christmas movie, in my opinion, as Die Hard. You can fight me on that. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. I've actually recently been convinced of that, and now I'm one of those people that will die on that hill. Nevertheless, Terrifier 1 and 2, Halloween, movie set on Halloween or take place on that day or include that day. Another series of super grotesque and wildly gory movies. But I'm going to be completely honest and keep it a bean. The reason why I enjoyed the first and second movie, I enjoyed the third too, but the reason why I enjoyed that entire series is because I'm just curious to see what Art the Clown is going to do next. Like, how is he going to up the ante in the many ways that he is slaughtering people? That sounds terrible, but I like it. I definitely would say that these is some movie. These two movies, I put them together because I like the first one. The second one's better to me. The second one captured the essence of Halloween, just the vibe of Halloween, what it's like on that day or leading up to trick or treat and all like that. I thought it did a really good job at that. That was like probably my favorite part of part two, besides like the crazy kills or whatever. I just love how well they captured what it felt like to be looking forward to and preparing for Halloween Day. But Terrifier 1 and 2 for sure. So yeah, those are kind of like combined together in like that fourth place spot. Number 3, Hell House LLC. If you've never watched Hell House LLC, I implore you to watch it. Definitely, well, it's already Halloween, but to watch it anyway whenever you get the chance. And as a disclaimer for me, when it comes to horror movies at least, I always advocate for whenever you plan to sit down and watch a horror movie, no distractions, low lights, no lights preferably, but if you have to have some type of illumination, very, very low, dim lights. My neighbor's dog is going crazy right now. How about it just started since I started recording? It's beautiful. Definitely low lights, no distractions. Keep your phone out your hands as much as you can and give yourself over to suspending, disbelief. Like horror movies need that. You need to be able to at least use your imagination, put yourself in that creepy vibe for them to work. Like, that's just being real. That's coming from a real horror fan. Yes, I do think that there's a select few numbers of movies that everyone would find to be scary to some degree. That's definitely another list for another time if you guys want a list like that. But definitely just no distractions, no noise, just you and that movie, whatever that may be. So back to number 3 on my list, Hell House LLC. It's the first movie that I've seen in a couple years. I watched this for the first time last year as well. It's the first movie that I've seen in a couple years that actually had me spooked out, like while watching it and afterwards. I'm not gonna lie, like they did a really good job. They did a very solid job on the whole found footage and mockumentary style of filmmaking. There are a lot of people who find it to be cheesy and, you know, boring or whatever, but I definitely think that I think it's difficult to do, and it's even more difficult to pull off in a convincing way. I thought it did a really good job at that. I'm kind of a fan of found footage type movies too. I always have been. Shout out the Blair Witch Project. Shout out uh, Cloverfield, for those that remember that. Great monster movie. I like found footage. I always dish out Paranormal Activity. Um, yeah, but Hell House LLC really is good at building up that suspense and that creep factor. You will be creeped out if you watch it without any distractions, in the dark, with the volume up. That will have you on the edge of your seat. I really like Hell House LLC. Um, and can't forget that unforgettable fucking clown mannequin. Um, that was scary. That's legitimately scary. That clown mannequin from Hell House LLC. Yeah, good movie. Number two, House of a Thousand Corpses by none other than Rob Zombie. Rob Zombie has 2 entries on his list for me. That's purely because those movies take place on Halloween or include October 31st. I will have honorable mentions after my main list is out the way. But yeah, Rob Zombie has 2 entries on my list for the scariest Halloween movies. Why do I say House of a Thousand Corpses? In my opinion, is Rob Zombie's best movie. Yeah, I will die on that hill too. I think House of a Thousand Corpses is his best movie that he's produced. Have I seen all of the movies he's made? I'll be real and say it's probably just one that I haven't seen. He don't got a lot of movies. I think he has less than 10 movies, somewhere around like 6 or 7. Well, if you include the Halloween remakes, it's probably somewhere around like close to 8. I don't think he's broken 10. And they all usually are very similar. Like, let's just keep that real too. But House of a Thousand Corpses might also have a lot to do with the fact that I saw it at a very young age. I think that is the first Rob Zombie movie that I've ever seen. And again, I'm only 27. Seen that movie somewhere circa 2003. Like when it came out, I have it on bootleg. I still have the bootleg. The bootleg copy, or, you know, whatever. You know, for those of you that know what it's like having a book or catalog of bootleg shelves full of bootlegs, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And it was a good enough copy where I used to watch it over and over and over again, scaring the living shit out of myself over and over again. And one of the things I think that House of a Thousand Corpses does well is super creepy. It's extremely sadistic, and it's funny. It's a lot of one-liners in House of a Thousand Corpses. Shout out Captain Spaulding. If you haven't seen the movie, watch it at your own advisory. Like I said, super sadistic. It's just another nasty Rob Zombie movie. He makes nasty movies. So if you want to watch it, preferably I'll tell you to watch it by yourself. If you want somebody else to watch it with you, great. Why not? Just make sure you pay attention and watch the whole thing in its entirety. It has its whimsical parts. It's not, like I said, it's a B movie level tier of film when it comes to Rob Zombies, even though I love him. And another part of House of a Thousand Corpses that did it for me, it's extremely, like, dreadful. Like, what's the right word I want to use? It's so much despair in that film. Like, I just, off of nostalgia and shit like that, like, just thinking back on watching it as a kid, I remember watching it, and, like, the first, like, 10 minutes, first 10 to 20 minutes, 20 minutes of the movie is, like, the only amount of, like, smiling that you'll do, like, to any degree, whether it's like ear to ear, a grin, you know, a smirk. And then after they meet Captain Spaulding and go through his, like, House of Horrors type of deal, and they go to the the family house in the rain because they needed a phone or something like that. The car broke down, whatever it was. It just turns really bad for everybody, and I mean everybody, everybody. And it stays that way to the end of the movie. You're just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, this is terrible. I like it. It's definitely something that scared the heck out of me as a kid. That involves Halloween Day. Um, uh, and one thing that crushed me as a kid is a scene in there. I don't want to spoil it. I'm not a spoiler type of dude. It's a scene in there where one of the characters, one of the characters' father discovered what may or may not have happened to them. Um, and it's doing like a slow mo like sequence, and it's just absolutely sad. It's sad because like they use like flashback clips to just bring home the horror of what is happening. You know, I was just yeah. Um, House of a Thousand Corpses is cool if you like scary, gory Halloween movies. Number one might not be hard to imagine. Coming from me, as I've already alluded to, why Gummy back here looks the way that he does, but Halloween 1978, John Carpenter, Deborah Hill, Donald Pleasance, um, Mustafa Akkad, uh, uh, um, dang, I forgot his name. What's his name? Jamie Lee Curtis, of course. Was who played? Oh man, that's killing me. Uh, I forgot the name of the actor that played the Shape. I'm disappointed in myself. Um, but nevertheless, yeah, Halloween 1978. Oh man, what can I say about this movie for me? In my opinion, it is the epitome or epitome, however you say that word, of Halloween scariness and the vibe of October 31st. It's super, super, super nostalgic for me. It's my favorite movie of all time. I think it's perfect. I think it's a 10 out of 10. I think John Carpenter was made to make that movie. Like that's just like one of the things. There's certain things in life that you see play out either for yourself or within others and like their works or their accomplishments, successes, whatever it may be that you just feel like that is one of the things that you were put here for. Um, it's just perfect to me. It's a perfect capture of spookiness, scary, um, um, Halloween season, trick or treating, um, and mystery, edge of your seat. Um, One of my favorite YouTubers, when he speaks about this movie or about this franchise, he goes, you know, what did he say? What does he say? He says mood and atmosphere. I'm not going to let you know who that is. That's a little trivia for yourself. If you can figure out who I'm talking about, you most likely won't. It's a very niche YouTuber, but one of my favorites. And I definitely don't have an issue discussing like who my favorite YouTubers are, or like making a list of my favorite YouTubers of all time and things of that nature. Now, since I'm trying to start that journey myself, but definitely it captures the mood and atmosphere of spooky season through and through. I love it. I love it. So yes, Halloween is number one. Halloween, the original, 1978, and you can't forget iconic one-liners and characters in um, Jamie Lee Curtis's performance and Donald Pleasance's performance as Dr. Loomis. Um, Stunning, stunning film and acting and excuse me and storytelling and writing and production. Like they use like I think like a quarter. They made the movie with what essentially became a quarter, maybe even less, of what they made in the box office. Like the success of the film blew what they used to spend on making the movie out of the water. It's one of the most successful low budget movies ever made. Like period. Not even just in horror or thriller franchises or excuse me genres. Yeah. So let's jump into my what's it called? Honorable mentions list. Honorable mention number one. This is in no order. This is in no order. But these are movies that include Halloween today, or take place on that day, or discuss October 31st in some way, shape, or form that I thoroughly enjoyed. Hubie Halloween came out like 2020. Adam Sandler at it again, making another just great comedy film. It is a comedy. It is funny. It is wholesome. And it does a really great job at capturing Halloween Day. Like, I love that movie. That's a good movie. If you want to watch something funny and also involved in Halloween, Hubie Halloween is one of my recommendations. It's a Netflix original, you know, just something he put together. And of course, he tagged along all his old buddies that he usually used in his films. And I think that whatchamacallit was absolutely funny as shit. Oh my gosh. I get on camera, I draw a blank on certain shit. But King of Queens, Paul Blart, Mall Cop, Kevin James. Kevin James was absolutely hilarious in Hubie Halloween. Check it out. Good, fun, wholesome Halloween movie. Monster House. If you anywhere in my age range, either I'll say in a range of 30 to what, like maybe 22, something like that. If you 20, you was born in 05. Sure, 20 to 30. If you're anywhere in that age range, you should know, or most likely already do know, how much of a classic Monster House is. Monster House is an absolute classic. Absolute classic from my childhood. It is funny as shit. And it also does a really good job of keeping you on the edge of your seat as you watch it, especially for the first time. Trying to understand what is going on. Why is the house alive? Like, I ain't gonna spoil it for nobody. Not into spoiling. And it's just a great cartoon movie. They don't make cartoon movies like that no more, man. That was everything to me back in like, was that like 04, 05? And a real quick fun fact about me, I also had Haunted House the game on Game Boy Advance. How many of y'all know about that? Like that it had a game. I had on the Game Boy pause. I had on the Game Boy Advance. And I really wanted on the PS2, but I got on the Game Boy. It was great. Great movie. Fun. Another fun, wholesome. It's a little less wholesome than Hubie Halloween, purely because as they go into the backstory of particular characters, you find out just how cartoonishly just mean one of the characters is to children specifically. You just be like, oh, damn, okay. All right, but yes, Monster House. Paranorman. Why do I have Paranorman on this list as my honorable mentions? Paranorman is a good movie, good animated movie. It's creepy, it's funny. It's also wholesome-ish, entertaining. But I have to be honest. For me, it creeped me out for totally different reasons as a kid. Nothing to do with the story. Nothing to do with the characters themselves. Had everything to do with the animation style. Listen, let me help you understand something about me. I'm not a big fan of stop motion or anything that resembles stop motion. That shit creeps me out. It always has. Um, I don't know what it is. I think it's something like, for me, it's something that plays into the whole like uncanny valley type of deal, where it is so close to looking fluid, having no, so close to having the fluidity of humans and human motion, but stops short somewhere along that line, and it just throws my brain for a loop. Stop motion creeps me out. I'm not a fan of it. So yeah, shit. In that vein, I should also put Nightmare Before Christmas, because I think no, title movie is Nightmare Before Christmas. Y'all tell me, because I don't remember, and I'm not about to go look it up. Does Nightmare Before Christmas take place during Halloween? Right? I don't remember. I haven't seen that movie in years because it creeps me the fuck out. I'm sorry. Coraline, and like, I'll take it way back for some of y'all. James and the Giant Peach. Um, like, no, just no. Like, these movies scare me. Coraline is good. I like Coraline. I watched it several times. It is not something I'm looking forward to seeing again, or like just throwing on for myself. It's just creepy. It's creepy. These movies are borderline, even kids movies. Like, let's just be real. Like, they're creepy. They're freaking creepy. But next, this is a oldie. I'm about to show how how old I am, I guess, mentally. Idle Hands. If you know, you know. Idle Hands is awesome. Idle Hands is one of my childhood classics. I was not born when Idle Hands came out, I don't think, but it's something that, in me being a movie buff and a film enthusiast, if you will, it sounds very proper. I just love movies, and so I watched a lot of movies as a kid, and like, well, no matter what DVD I could get my hand on, I would get my hand on and I'd watch it. And Idle Hands is one of the movies that I'm so glad I came across at like freaking no funny, like at like 8 or 9 years old, and I loved it. I used to watch it all the time. Devin Sawa, uh, he's kind of like a horror icon in his own way. You know what I'm saying? You would know that name, mostly probably know the face from the Final Destination franchise. Um, he also reprised his horror icon status with jumping into the Chucky TV series, the Child's Play TV series that I think came out last year or the year before last. I wish they continued that. That was awesome. I used to watch that. It wasn't consistent, not as consistent as I like to have been, but yeah, Devin Sawa. I believe Jessica Biel, young Jessica Biel. Can't forget. Oh my gosh, what's his name? Um, One of the friends that dies. The friend with the bottle. That's all I'll say. I don't want to spoil this if you've never seen it. It is an old school movie. It's from the mid-90s. That's my kind of vibe, to be completely honest. I was born in the late 90s. I love everything 90s, though. Can't help it. Early 2000s is goated as well. But the 80s and the 90s, I'm super retro in that way. And a touch of the 70s. But 80s, 90s, early 2000s, that's me through and through. In terms of, as far as the stuff that I like, enjoy, vibe with, resonate with, whatever. Um, what was I about to say? I forgot the friend's name. The friend with the bottle. That's all I will say. He's an icon. And comedic movies. I can't remember his name, but great movie all around. If you've never seen it, it's funny as shit. It's creepy. Has its moments of being creepy, and it's just fun. It's a fun watch. It's a fun mid-90s teenage, you know, scary, slightly gory movie. It's definitely a fuck am I trying to say? Like a good movie to watch. Last but not least, Trick or Treat. Said all the way together, as the movie title implies, Trick or Treat. Um, In my opinion, Trick or Treat is the quintessential Halloween movie outside of Halloween 1978, of course. I think Trick or Treat, I actually just got on the Trick or Treat 2022. That's the first time I seen it. That's the first time I watched it. I'll tell you something else about me and how like quirky I can be. Every year for October, I have AMC, the channel. Yes, I'm still one of the dinosaurs that still pays for cable. I don't know what's wrong with me. I need to stop. It's taking a lot of money I could be putting other places. I pay for cable, and I mostly pay for cable to have AMC, the channel, because it's so nostalgic for me that when October 1st rolls around, I put it on my TVs, living room and bedroom TV, and just leave it on until October 31st, until November 1st, rather. Just whatever movies they play, I leave it running. I'll even leave it running while I'm going out to work or going out and about, and come home to something scary on AMC, because that was my childhood, and it's a big part of my childhood, and it's something that I have yet to let go of. But I would see Trick or Treat come on AMC every Halloween season, and never took the time to sit and watch it. And I did the October of 2022, golded October for me, by the way. That's just a little bit of my personal shit. That's one of my favorite Octobers in like the last decade. That October. Yeah, it's one of the 21 and 22. Those two Octobers back to back were awesome. And I watched Trick or Treat for the first time that October of 2022. That's a good movie, and it's different. It's out of the norm. It's not a slasher joint. It's not a ghost joint. You know, it's neither one of them two. Even though it has elements of both. Great storytelling, and also it's part of the storytelling what makes it so great. It has interwoven storylines, so like sort of like an anthology series, but all put into one movie. It makes sense. It's not too long drawn out, and the climax of all these stories coming together will really have you like, oh, okay. Like if you really watching and paying attention. If you aren't paying attention, it will just feel like some some R.L. Stein goosebump type of shit, which isn't a bad thing. It's just like a bunch of compiled different scary stories, just thrown together. Another classic just reminded me of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Yeah, how old are y'all? Definitely showing my age. But yeah, man, that's my list for the scariest movies that I could think of off the top of my head that I've seen that involve Halloween the day or take place on October 31st or around October 31st. And some honorable mentions of movies that take place on October 31st or include Halloween the day that I just wanted to talk about that I enjoyed, that I really liked. I said this video is going to be short. This video is actually longer than my previous video I uploaded. I apologize for that. If you aren't into long form content, or if you just simply ain't into hearing me yap for more than fucking 5 to 10 minutes at a time, I'm going to try to consolidate these videos or the videos I make a little bit more. I just like the free form, the execution of just talking, because I like the idea of talking to, y'all or whoever is listening, even though I'm talking to myself to a very strong degree. But I like the idea of having like a conversation or feeling like I'm having a conversation. So this video is already long enough. I'm going to wrap it up. If this is a style of a video or form of discussion that you'd be interested to see me like do more of, gotta be scary stuff, but just like top fives, or in my opinion, what's more of this, more of that, let me know. Talk to a brother in the comments. You feel me? And if this video made you laugh, smirk, crackle, smile, or laugh, anybody that's been on social media in the last like 5 to 6 years or so may possibly know where I get that from. I drop a lot of like not Easter eggs, but like I say a lot of different stuff in my normal life too, in conversation, where it's like if you know you know type of thing. And I like to leave it up for people to try to figure it out instead of just giving stuff away. I like surprises. I like guessing too, so that's why I do stupid shit like that. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video to any degree, that's good to know, man. For real. I'm not too sure how entertaining I can be, or informative I can be. But if you enjoyed this video in any way, shape, or form, please make sure to like the video. I'd very much appreciate that. That'd make me feel like I'm doing something that people would like to see more of, and I will continue to do more of. You can, of course, subscribe. Listen, this is my second video, so if you want to subscribe, God bless your heart. But I'm definitely just looking for those people out there that, you know, have similar interests to me and want to talk about the same things I like to talk about. But other than that, happy Halloween. Shout out to everybody that's out there trick-or-treating, dressed up, giving out candy. A lot of people, don't nobody give love to people that stay at home ready and waiting to give out candy. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody that decorate their house, either on the outside or inside or both. And shout out to everybody who may be at a party right now. It'd be nice to be at a party. But I don't think I've ever been to a Halloween party. Closest I ever came to having a Halloween party was at college. Halloween of 2016. Like the dorms threw something. It was cool. It was fun. They even had like their own haunted house attraction made in the bottom one of the buildings. That was actually very cool. But yeah, happy Halloween. Enjoy your night. Stay safe. You guys most likely will not see this video until sometime in November when you watch it, because I am not only going to be posting this October 31st, I'm recording it October 31st. So it's only a matter of hours before it turns November 1st. And then we are into our Thanksgiving, Christmas era. This Thanksgiving and Christmas is going to be very interesting for me, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless. Thanks again. Rest in peace, Donald Pleasance. I think that's fitting for this video. I'm sure there's other individuals I could say and think of, but that's the first one that came to mind, and I'm going to stick with that. See y'all later. Peace.